Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Robin, this is Digital Wilds, and welcome back to part 3 of Darkest of Days. Now, in this episode, we are going to proceed further now that we've got this ongoing main plot intrigue of these interlopers from throughout time crashing the party. So let's see what missions are available to us next. So, we are only able to go back to the Civil War with a harvest of carnage.
An old-fashioned clusterfuck right here. You're headed straight into some of the deadliest hours of American history. And it's going to be uglier than an orangutan's afterbirth. The cornfield fight was one of the bloodiest clashes of Antietam. This one small patch of ground went back and forth between the Union and Confederates more than 11 times. By noon, there wasn't even a stalk of corn left standing. Now stick with your fellow soldiers. As sick as it sounds, they're your living body armor, and there's going to be a lot of lead in the air. Remember, you ain't there for them. You're there to find Welsh. He'll be in the cornfield somewhere. You keep your eye out for him and get him out of there. Get clear of the battle and head toward Dunkirk Church while avoiding Confederate patrols. We'll find a way to get you home somehow. In the meantime, follow orders, don't draw attention to yourself, and by God, don't try to be a hero.
Apart from those people we want you to rescue using the Pokeballs. Got it. Right, well, sounds like we're about to get shot at by a lot of angry Southerners. So, just another day on the job. Let's get going. So here we are at Miller's Cornfield as a bunch of badly animated Union soldiers run past. Things are getting a little bit heated out here. Yeah, we've got some dead Confederates, so let's check the map and see where we're headed. Right, okay, easy enough, down the path, hide behind these guys to avoid getting shot. Watch the incredibly dodgy particle effects as the attempt at autumn. This looks like they're being levitated by some kind of hidden wizard. Anywho, through this narrow choke point, which does not seem a sensible place to funnel your soldiers, but I suppose we hadn't reached machine gun stage of the war yet. I can't actually stop moving. I'm being forced by the game into this position. So I guess we're going to do the forming ranks thing. I'm not actually pressing the W button at this point. I can look around, but I can't actually move. I can fire my gun in the air, though. Yeehaw! Unfortunately, I've also been reduced down to the crappy musket. I don't have my revolver. I've only got the repeater here, which is useful enough for now, but I've only got 30 rounds, so this might be a bit of a problem coming up soon, especially as my allies are going down very rapidly. Now, I said in the intro to this, there wasn't a stalk of corn left by the end of the battle, but this is not a game which has the technological capacity to actually remove the corn from the battle or do any kind of terraforming. So I don't know whether they're just going to include that or whether they're going to, find a way to get around it. Still, this is relatively easy. Just point and shoot. You can start to see why the casualty ratings were so high in the American Civil War now, especially if this was a realistic representation of how they fought, which frankly I'm not given to believe it is, but nobody seems to have hit me yet, so not my problem, frankly. I suppose a grenade would be handy right about now, but we didn't think to bring any of those back with us from the First World War. I think this is what this game thinks is a set piece, but actually it's just rather boring shooting gallery. I suppose it's meant to emphasise the horrors of war, but, there's kind of no weight or viscerality to the shots. They just kind of crumple like paper dolls. I don't actually get that impression, and I've only got 45 rounds left, although this thing's rate of fire is going to mean I don't get to the end of them very quickly. So control's been taken off me. Yep, I've been launched 10 feet in the air. I suppose, yeah, okay, down the irrigation ditch. I haven't actually managed to get hit yet this episode, which I frankly doubt is going to last. Yep, okay, so we're going to skirt around here, follow the wagon train, and okay, yeah, again, very, very close range combat going on here, guys. This is not effective battlefield techniques. I know that you're dealing with this conscript army of illiterate yokels, but, even they should know not to stand in the way of the men with the shouty sticks. Nope. Okay, no, that's told me I have died. Back into the fray with our terrible rifle, which has at least got a full reload. I've got 60 rounds. I just can't fire them at any sort of pace. I suppose I could go and fight hand to hand, but that seems at best dodgy in this game. Oh, people keep shooting my enemies before I get to them. You have to live. Pokeball, go. You don't have to live. I don't know whether you're... Yeah, you're dead. You're just glitching out. And we are reloaded on the repeater. Lovely. I don't remember actually reloading that after I picked up more ammo, so clearly he just did that without my noticing. Okay, so through this gap... oh, wrong way. We're heading that way. I suppose if we go that way, we'll get shot by Confederates, which would be less than ideal. And you need to survive. So fling out a Pokeball, if that can get within range of him. Oh, no, it can't. Come on. Nearly. And... there you go. Down. And those guys aren't paying any attention to me at all. So I can just shoot them. Although they seem to be resistant to getting shot, which is a bit of a problem if you're the Union general. I think it was George McClellan leading the Union forces in this battle, because I think it was the one after which he was relieved of his command for being a bit useless. At least in the eyes of Lincoln, who thought he was being too cautious in his attacks on the Confederates, which, to be honest, given the Confederate situation, he was probably right. The Confederacy started this war outnumbered 2-1 and with a 9-1 disadvantage in its industry, which means it was basically impossible for them ever to win logistically. But this was before the point in military history where that had been kind of realised. Are you going to give me a fun future gun?
Take this gun and engage in some numerical
Aha.
adjustment out there.
I appreciate the fun gun, Dexter, but you did only give me 400 rounds in a caliber which is not available at this point in history. So, although I can inflict 400 casualties max on the Confederates, that's not really enough to turn the tide of battle. These Civil War battles had, tens of thousands of casualties. I don't think, even by the end of the war, the Siege of St. Petersburg, when they introduced machine guns for the first time, they weren't a decisive war-changing weapon. Oh well. Right, where am I heading? I'm just repelling them from this advance. There don't seem to be that many of them, if I'm honest. Okay, it's somewhat satisfying shooting them with the big machine gun, I'll admit. Although, again, it suffers from the problem that there's no kind of weight to any of the guns. I am going to swap out my terrible musket for that revolver I found over there, though. That will be useful. So where are they coming from? I'm confused about the direction on this, because I came from this gate earlier. Yeah, they're just coming through the cornfield. Okay. I should use this to harvest the corn. It might be quite effective. It's impossible to find any of the enemies, and I'm about to die, so that is less than optimal. And again, this suffers from the very darkest of days problem that I'm not actually sure what the objective is or how close I am to meeting it. I think there's bad guys over here, so down he goes. Okay, now we're on the attack, which is what an assault rifle is useful for. Clues in the name, I suppose. Okay, yes, this is an AR-55. I see, they've made a funny joke about the AR-15 being a popular current assault rifle, so this is one from the future. Just mowing the lawn here, this is great. Oh no, this isn't great, retreat, retreat! Ah, no, hide! Would they have shouted medic in 1865? Did they have medics? Was that a role? I know they were like battlefield surgeons, but I don't think they would have actually gone into combat. There might have been some kind of triage. They'd been able to get them back to the lines, but I think it just would have had to be one of your buddies grabbing you. If anyone knows about the role of medics in the US Army during this point in history, I'd kind of be curious to know. This is sort of fun, but also it feels like I'm having absolutely no effect on their numbers. I'm told I've succeeded by the little, mission marker, but that's not much comfort. Okay, this is sort of more fun. Although they are suffering the problem of they're all the same model being animated the same way, so it feels a little bit like I'm cheating in a Total War game. Okay, have we found him? Is this him over here? He's following my mission marker, so we'll find out soon. Oh yeah, there he is. Hello.
Here we're making a push to take that Dunker church. I ain't keen on dying in this cornfield, so why don't we head up there?
Convenient that he just glows orange for my benefit, isn't it? Unfortunately, I'm running dangerously low on the machine gun ammo. I know if there are any military pedants in the comments who are going to be pointing out this isn't a machine gun, it's an assault rifle, but you know what I mean. It's an automatic weapon that is carried by a single soldier. At this point in history, I think they wouldn't distinguish much between that and a machine gun. Oh, cavalry! Not cavalry anymore. At least the corn does react to getting shot. That's a relatively good technological innovation to this point in history. See, you wouldn't get shot at so much if you didn't glow bright orange. It makes you quite a convincing target. Since they're shooting over here, I'm going to assume there are enemies over here, so I might go and break the stalemate. Aha. Only 35 rounds left, though. So I assume there's going to be some kind of final assault. Although this game does have the problem of its missions just kind of stopping. Okay. So I guess we have to get to the church, and I can't remember seeing that, so that might be a bit of the map I've not been to yet. Oh yeah, over this way. I imagine I'm going to get shot in the back as I run, but I seem to be able to survive a remarkable amount of firepower for just some bloke from the 1870s. Oh, this is unpleasant. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, and it's making me walk. I guess it's supposed to be instilling in me the horrors of war, but frankly that's not strictly necessary. None of the Union soldiers seem to be questioning why I have this, and it seems a little bit strange, because I would have thought a gun like this they would all want to get their hands on, might even kill me for. I suppose they've read Harry Turtledove's The Guns of the South and think that that's, a normal thing for time-travelling future interferers to be showing up with modern weaponry. Okay, I'm out of ammo for the future gun. The Union cavalry has just saved me, but there is one guy left to take care of. So down to the revolver, which is nice to have, but is not going to last forever. I've only got 67 shots for it. Oh no, here we go. Yep, the bad guys are here. Oh, hi Dexter. Thanks for your help in the last few minutes. Not. Okay, well we could have just grabbed him and yoinked him out of here, but I suppose, yep, okay, that was a relatively quick mission, but hopefully we'll get back to the First World War next, because that's a more interesting setting to my mind.
I'm so relieved you both made it back. Those strange intruders are quickly becoming our overriding problem. We simply can't do anything else until we come up with a way to deal with them. I believe we'll need to capture one of these strangers, and I am tasking you and Dexter to get that done. It's up to you how.
Let me just go to the upgrade computer and I put another point into rate of fire for rifles. Frankly, they're the most useful weapons in the game, and being able to use the bolt actions and the older Civil War weapons even quicker is better. One thing that is slightly strange is that when you get an older weapon in this game, even if it's one you picked up and therefore the Magic Time Police haven't given you the chance to upgrade, it still has all the upgrades applied to it, which is rather strange. Anyway, let's see what's next.
Here's the deal. Those agents, well, call them that have been hassling you, are turning into a major problem. We need to figure out where they're coming from, who they're working for, and what the hell they're packing for heat. Now, I don't like this a whole lot, but we're up against it, and this is what we gotta do. I've scouted out a ravine where some cavalry boys are getting their asses handed to them by the Indians. I want you to clear out the Indians, and then, well, you need to take out the soldiers with blue auras. And that'll grab the attention of those agent boys. They're gonna come after you, and you're playing rabbit. Lead them up through the ravine, and I'll take care of the rest.
Okay, so instead of the First World War or the Civil War, we're actually going back to 1876, my own time, which means I could just run off and peg it into the forest and go back home. But that doesn't seem to occur to my character during this mission, as I recall. So Dexter seemed to sound more uncomfortable with the prospect of mowing down the American soldiers than with the killing of the Indians, which is a little bit uncomfortable in my view. But I get the super shotgun back, and I get the awesome assault rifle with 300 rounds, so this might at least be quite a fun mission shooter-wise. This is quite a pretty level in this little canyon. I'm not entirely sure where this is supposed to be. Oh, what's this?
This is the spot. You're gonna need to lead them here. Right now, let's head up there and take a look around.
Okay, are we doing a stealth mission? Is that what's happening? This looks like a location they've just plucked out of one of the Elder Scrolls games and sort of reduced the contrast because it's very brown and grey. But that was a trend of shooters in the late 2000s. It's not necessarily the fault of this particular one. More of the magic wizard hovering particle effect.
Yeah, this looks good. I'll be able to cover you from up here if you stick to the ravines on your way back. Take a good look and check your map. You're gonna have a few of those shiny shitheads on your tail when you come back through. Now the cavalry target should be that way. And we're gonna wanna... Shit! Did you hear that? Gotta be an Indian patrol. Get moving.
Very poorly animated arrows. Okay, we are being located. That is not ideal. Oh, hello. Sorry. I'm very sorry. I know. We shouldn't have taken your country. I get that. I do. It's just, I really do need to get out of here alive. I mean, I'm sorry. I will fix this later down the line. We can come back in time and revive you. It just, you know, it's inconvenient for the time being. I know that there are structural inequalities in this country that mean that your land and culture has been taken away from you, but ultimately it's not really my responsibility, so if you think about it, shooting me with arrows is not actually going to help the situation. Oh no. What? Hang on, you were in here with your guns, and the cavalry just rode through, and you didn't shoot them. What kind of warriors are you? Oh, okay, and we have this mysterious mansion. I guess this is like cavalry headquarters, maybe? Cannot see a thing, getting shot. Less than ideal. Oh, okay, down I go. Uh-oh. Oh no. Shot, fell off a log, beheaded, died. Shot, fell off a log, beheaded, survived. Trick shot. Oh, I've got arrows sticking out of me. Very nice. Doesn't quite work as an effect, it's a bit flickery, but I appreciate the effort. Oh, and I can't shoot the cavalry because they're marked as friendly. This isn't, yeah, it doesn't allow me to be a neutral observer in this situation. So if we go around this ledge, we are slightly more protected from some of the more obvious attacks, and we can go hide behind these cavalry guys. Can't shoot me, I'm behind a banister. Sorry! Ah, okay, so we've summoned the bad guys. Can I shoot them with my... no, I can't. Ah, right, so I now need to lead those guys into the future scanners without getting shot along the way. This might be easier said than done, frankly. Oh, no, I am now dead. Brilliant. Sorry, get out of the way. Oh, I think they can be killed. You just need to sustain your fire on them. I know they're right on my ass. They keep shooting me in the brain. Alright, here we go. yeah, we managed to entrap him in a portal because nobody in this game can fight at more than 10 feet range. I don't know why we couldn't summon the magic future portal in a location where I don't have to leg it up a very steep incline, but I don't know. Dexter's ideas.
We got him! Good work, son. You managed to keep your poop with a group under fire. I might even be proud of you right now. Now let's get all this back to headquarters and figure out what's going on with these fellas.
We'll do as the man says.
It's such a joy to welcome back my triumphant warriors. Well done, the both of you. Our investigators are going to work with our new guest and see what we can learn. We have not had a chance to do any research yet, but we do already know their shield resonance. That will allow you to take them down twice as effectively. That should even out the playing field, as I assume you will encounter them again. Much work still needs to be done. Both Welsh and Petrovich are still out there, but now I can confidently send you to get it done. Dexter, whatever plan you put together worked very well. Please keep up the good work.
Ah, okay, so we got some plot intrigue.
Why I'm here? Well, we're
Oh god, your facial animation is horrifying.
Like you at Little Bighorn. You were about ready to buy the farm, but since you were just transferred from a different unit and arrived early, history shows you as an MIA from your previous unit. The lists of the dead and missing from Custer's last stand don't have your name. As far as history's concerned, you're a ghost, and perfect for snatching by Chronotech, just like me. I was a firefighter in New York City. It was an exciting job. Dangerous, but it was worth it. And on that fateful day, I wasn't working. Wasn't even on call. But I heard the scanner and I knew I had to respond. And right before a kajillion tons of steel and concrete collapsed on top of me, a portal appeared and a Chronotech agent pulled me in. Just like you. If Chronotech hadn't snagged me, I'd be dead. So, as the MIAs of history, we're allowed to go back and set things right with history, while the rest of the Chronotech folks can't. They're stuck. They have to use us MIAs that are never figured out. Pretty deep, huh? And there's more of us. The research team is concentrating on finding and retrieving other ghosts of time. One piece of advice. If she offers to send you back to your original time, don't take it. You'll be sent to the exact moment you left. In your case, about 10 seconds before an Indian splits open your skull. When it comes to working for Chronotech, you're damned if you do, and dead if you don't. How's that for a motivational slogan, huh? Yeah, well, sorry for the history lesson. We have work to do. Where do you want to start?
So from that implication, and this, by the way, is another Darkest of Days problem wherein people just give you big exposition dumps inside the shiny room rather than actually, feeding things to you through gameplay and things that you could discern from their dialogue in the levels. Dexter was a firefighter on, it's heavily implied, 9/11, because he talked about a kajillion tons of steel and concrete coming down on him and responding when the scanner wasn't going and when he wasn't on call, which a lot of firefighters did. 343 of them, I think, died on 9/11, so he was one of those. I'm not sure whether they were all declared dead, the ones who were missing in action, because there were very few people recovered from the wreckage just because of how big a disaster it was. So, but that's Dexter's backstory. So that's rather interesting. Anyway, we got some extra upgrade points, which I'm gonna put into clip size because I think we're going back to First World War, so that will be useful to have. So let's figure out what is next. Yep. Okay, so we can go to First World War or Civil War. Now, we've seen a lot of the Civil War in the 19th century recently, so let's go back to the Eastern Front.
Outside Frankenau, where you got the super deluxe grenade launcher, I think we were a little over-enthusiastic in its application. Both the Russian and German troops scattered to the four winds, so our personnel location forecasting is about as useful as tits on a bull right now. So I managed to raise a little search party. 2 Chronotech agents are joining us to help scout the terrain. Now we're going to fan out and do a meticulous search. Probably run into German resistance. That's going to be a grind, but if we do the work, we'll bring back our man.
Back to the First World War. From the little preview image of the level, it looks like we might be getting some armoured cars in this mission, which might make things a bit interesting. Those guys don't speak English. They're Russian soldiers. Why have you been telling them that? Right, anyway, thanks, Dexter. Let's, find where we're going. Okay. Again, another mission which is allegedly relatively open world, but actually is just a string of progression markers. Are these Germans? Yep.
Those guys are...
I mean, am I supposed to shoot them? Is that what's going on? I don't know. Apparently not. Nope. No. I think they've got us. Right. Open fire. Okay, the upgraded weapons in this game do actually get significantly better. That's quite nice. Oh god, he's dissolved into tiny, tiny chunks. Well, I'm going to get me another rifle, because they're more useful than the pistols. Oh, what's this? It is the object from the thumbnail for these videos. Oh, okay, so they're not Russians. They are Americans from the future. For some reason, all the Chronotech employees seem to be Americans, apart from the robot Australian woman. So yes, I've remembered this now. This is, I seem to recall my favourite mission in the game, because obviously we are attempting to steal this zeppelin. Now, again, this is 1914, so it was slightly before the point where zeppelins were being used for aerial bombardment. That was in 1915, I think that started. But, you know, poetic license, I don't mind for this purposes. Okay, have to not shoot the hydrogen tanks. I don't want to get blown up. But it's not entirely clear to me what they are, so just gonna try and shoot the people and not think about it too hard. Oh, and down I go. For that little caption down there in the loading screen about the broadcast of plans over open radio, it was simply that the Russian military did not have the facility to have good code breakers and good ciphers. There's a good history of military security and ciphers which touches on this, and I should find out what the book's called and put it in the description, because it's worth reading. I mean, they basically just didn't. The generals didn't get on. The military high command was very antiquated. Radio was a very new technology. They didn't have many radios to begin with. And they also had quite a multinational army who couldn't all speak the same language, so it was easier to just sort of broadcast things as live. And you know, this wasn't a war where there was a great amount of secrecy required for a lot of the earlier operations, because it was basically just big human wave attacks. You don't need to have a huge element of surprise if you're not doing small unit attacks, so they just didn't really think it was necessary. Turns out it was, but you know, you can forgive them for not really thinking so. Yeah, excuse me. Yes, die please. The strange thunk when you bayonet people as though you're putting a glass down on a wooden table is quite an interesting sound design decision. I assume those are the hydrogen tanks I have to not shoot. I'll give it my best. Then that machine gun goes down, if I can get it. There we go. I assume I can go on the machine gun. Okay, so we've got a mystery sniper rifle now, and a grenade from somewhere. Bloody impossible to hit anything while you're moving, but I do have a machine gun if I need it. Oh, yeah, there they go. Excellent. I'm surprised that didn't blow up the zeppelin, because it's still very much in range, but it's taken out some of our problems, at least. Ooh, I've got some bombs. Well, I can't see anything, so that is going to be problematic. What? Why did I die? If I take a machine gun, that might be a better way of dealing with this, frankly. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this wasn't how zeppelins were used in the First World War, but this is one of those games that came out in the aftermath of Modern Warfare, where you had the relatively good level with the gunship. So I guess they were trying to emulate that in a sort of First World War setting. You couldn't really do it with the Civil War levels. You'd have to do it with like a hot air balloon. But I'm pretty sure that wasn't anything that they did. They did have hot air balloons for observation, but you know. Oh, yep. I love that slightly pathetic bomb noise. Yeah, have that. And that. Thank you, very poorly voice acted man. Okay, we can get a full resupply. Excellent, we've got a big box of ammo, that's nice. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? I can't take out the driver like in a competent video game, but I can blow them up with bombs. Build a machine gun them. Oh, that guy's got a hydrogen tank. Okay, yeah, blow him up. Makes much more sense. Thanks. Did you record this in your bathroom? Because I get the feeling this was made in someone's basement, frankly. Sorry, 8 Monkey Labs, if any of you are still around. I'm sure some of you work in the games industry now and you're doing very well. It's just that, you know, this very much screams this was our first video game. Also, why are we flying so low? One of the main things about Zeppelins is you can fly them very high up so that you don't have to, you know, be in range of rifles and stuff like this. It's one of the main vulnerabilities of them, frankly. They're quite flammable. Why were you on a rowing boat without any oars with your rifle? Oh, because the developers thought it would be cool, I see. This is a video game, so is that barrel explosive? Apparently not. Also, they apparently didn't animate the machine gun as actually aiming at the Zeppelin. The bullets just kind of home in on us. Yeah, this is shonky. Okay, I'm sorry to say, this level is not as cool as I remember it being. We are actually, you know, just slowly slugging our way through very distant enemies that can hit us without any kind of indication of where they're aiming. On the right, you say. Okay, I don't see them, but fine. Ah, yeah, no, I see them now. Yeah, down they go. Oh, the Zeppelin does actually have a health meter, it's just we're at full health, so it hasn't been an issue so far. Down they go. Why are they just driving around the random explosive hydrogen tanks? I get it at the actual, you know, zeppelin drome or whatever the fuck the airport's called. But it's generally not as much of a concern. Down you go. Down you go. Down you go. Down you go. Sniping from a moving platform becomes much easier once you've done it a bit. The health of this thing is going down really, really, really quickly, and I can't see what the source of the damage is. So I have to kind of fire blindly and hope we recover from it. The health does sort of regenerate on the Zeppelin, which is nice. We're not at altitude, we're like 30 feet in the air. Are those Russians? Yeah, they're Russians. Okay, don't shoot them. Shoot these guys over here. Our health's relatively low, so I want to be a bit careful with this so we don't blow up. But I'll do my best. I think the Germans might have had some armoured cars at this point, but I'm not convinced that's what they actually look like. Well, if Petrovich is dead, can't we just go back and rescue him again? I mean, we know where he's meant to be. We'll just go further back than we were at the first mission. Yep, okay, Russians there. Gotta wait for my health to respawn. And the Zeppelin's coming back, I think, gradually.
Too good for the home team.
We're not the home team. We're not Russians. You know, from a historically accurate and less interfering with history point of view, surely it might have been better to pose as the German army, who did actually win this battle in the end, and the you know, could have captured Petrovich, and then we could have evacuated him from a prisoner of war camp, rather than trying to dig him out of this hole using weird captured zeppelins and things. Might have made for a less interesting video game, admittedly. Why are there rockets? They didn't have rockets. Tens of thousands of Russian soldiers lost their lives due to their generals' hatred towards each other. That is conjecture, frankly. I think the Russians were going to lose that war regardless of whether their generals were huggy best buddies. I mean, they might have lost fewer, but it's really difficult to know. I mean, the Russian army is so weak at this point in history that, frankly, they could have lost so many. You know, using the machine guns was actually easier than using the sniper rifle, I'll concede that. Just gonna hide behind the armor plating so I don't get shot in the brain. Are we past the worst now? It's difficult to know. This is where I got killed last time, so not very charitable towards it as a piece of the game. No more rockets for us, although health is getting a bit concerningly low. Those are Russians, so that's not a problem.
There's Petrovich over there. Keep on him, Gibson.
Where? I don't see the orange. I don't know whether I just shot that mortar rocket out of the air or whether I somehow managed to hit the trees. Either way, not complaining. The Zeppelin's health is nearly restored, so that's good. Oh! Yes, you can. You can shoot the rockets out of the air, excellent. Which is going to be necessary, frankly, because we're on... We've only got so much health, and we are, as the guy said, relatively explosive. Oh, okay, I am nearly out of ammunition. That's not ideal. I can't see where those guys are shooting from. Oh no, okay, we're nearly out. Okay, that's us done, I think. I just can't see where they're shooting from. Okay, I'll try and shoot the rockets down, I guess, but that's difficult. I can't see anything, Dexter. Stop yelling at me. I'm trying. Okay. Okay, that was a set piece. It was a supposed to lose fight. Well, you didn't need to yell at me then, Dexter, did you?
Son, just stay quiet. Follow my lead. I'll take the heat, but if she finds out about the Zeppelin, we're both screwed.
Dexter, what in the bloody hell happened back there? Where are Collins and Gibson? And what happened to Petrovich?
We dropped in, found a whole bunch of Germans where they weren't supposed to be any. They saw us first, started shooting. We scattered, and it all went sideways. Morris and I managed to get out.
You mean with your allegedly superior tactics and training, you were run off by a bunch of early 20th century foot soldiers? Are you slipping, Dexter?
Not by a long shot, ma'am. It was damn near an ambush, and that's dangerous no matter who you're fighting. And those Germans weren't supposed to be there, so I didn't want to further contaminate a deviation from history.
Perhaps you have a point there. I will send another, more passive recon team to assess the situation. At this point, we can only hope that Petrovich, as well as the rest of your team, is still out there. I will hold you responsible for their safe return, Dexter.
Yes, ma'am. I won't let you down again.
I imagine not. Now, we have more work to do.
So, another 3 upgrade points. And let's see if Dexter has anything further to say, or whether we're just going to get more weird one-liners. No, that's it for you. Okay, right. Let's just do a quick upgrade. Going to go for another 3 points to accuracy. I think the rifles are getting very good at this point.
Fighting, we'd get a little futuristic R&R. Maybe send us to the great strip bars through history or something.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dexter, for your, as always, scintillating commentary.
Remember what Welsh said about joining the push on Dunkirk Church? That's our best bet on finding him again. And we'll join the push while the Confederates are scrambling ass over tea kettle from their cornfield retreat. You're gonna join up with the Union lines and sweep across the field, take out the Confederate artillery, and then move on to Dunkirk Church. I'm joining up with a different unit to maximize our eye power. You help the Union troops secure the church, I'll meet you there. And keep your eyes peeled for Welsh. This time try not to freak him out.
Okay, they misspelled artillery in the subtitles for that. I don't know if you noticed, but oh well. We can't expect this futuristic tech organization to know how to spell. Right, so here we are in Maryland. Very, very green and lovely. Unfortunately, it's about to get rather red and unlovely. Oh, apparently my Pokeballs aren't working. Not sure why. Come on. Ah, right, okay, we've got a glitch. That's not great. Just gonna shoot you in... Ah, there we go. Right, the Pokeballs worked in the end. I just screw up my reload, but can... Oh, someone else is going to take care of those guys for us. Excellent. So, looks like, yeah, okay, we're getting attacked. That's a Confederate officer. Oh dear, this is not good. Oh no, nah. Oh, I definitely shot you there. Ah, a Pokeball-esque guy. Two of them, in fact. Oh, and a third one there. See if I can get him as he passes. Down he goes. Excellent. Why are you running over here? I mean, it seems like they only use me as a target, which means my allies can just blast them as they go past. Oh, hello. Hi, Welsh. Yeah, I got to protect you. Ooh, we got a sniper rifle. With, admittedly, only a few rounds, but, you know. Yeah, three rounds. 2 rounds. Useful, though, because they're pretty much guaranteed kills at this point, especially now I've got my, accuracy upgrades. Oh, yeah. Or the coordinated... Oh, don't go over there. Okay, yeah. Good reminder. So where am I heading? Oh, okay, I've literally just got to break through the enemy lines. Brilliant. This is going to go well. Hide behind our cannon fodder allies for as long as we can. Although they don't move very quickly, so it's a little bit frustrating to do that. That looks like some kind of beaten zone with artillery on the map, so I'm just going to skirt around it. I hope I don't get hit. Horses, turns out, not bulletproof. Okay, it looks like we've beaten them, so hopefully they run off now and we can make a bit more progress. Oh no, there are just more of them. Brilliant. Excellent battle tactics, guys. Alright, let's do a good sweep with the Pokeballs. So 5 of them go down immediately. Brilliant. There's that guy over there. Do I have any Pokeballs left? That's the question. I don't think I do. Right, you need to be shot in the leg. And that guy at the back needs to be shot in the leg. Although, you know... Okay, I am literally out of ammunition. I can't do anything about that guy. I just have to wait and hope some of them run into clubbing range. And that very poorly animated horse is probably not giving very inspiring leadership right now. Thunder, the robo-horse, lead us into battle. Hello, can I take anyone's weapon now that they're dead? I don't think I can. Well, so do I, and I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but unfortunately, I don't have any ammunition. I have a horrible feeling I might have discovered a glitch, which is, if you run out of ammunition, there is no way to proceed past this point. If I can't... Oh, no. Got another rifle with 2 shots. Let's take this guy out. Down he goes. Okay, brilliant. Just had to wait for enough of my allies to die that I could grab a weapon. Unfortunately, I'm now out of ammunition again, but they seem to be charging, so let's just bayonet our way through. Oh, no. Was that a... Okay, and with that bombardment, I seem to be free. I can bayonet these guys. And now I've got a lovely 34 shots left. They're defeated, so let's press on. That guy with the blue aura needs to be wounded but not killed, so... Sorry about that, just going to shoot you in the foot, pal. Trust me, it's good for you in the long run. Okay. Not good for me, though. Well, don't club me, that's mean. Oi, officer. And today shall be known in history forever as the Great Bludgeoning of Antietam. Oh, I wish I had some more Pokeballs. It would make taking out those blue guys a lot easier. I'm not trying to kill you. Just trying to wound you. There you go. I'll hide behind this bulletproof fence. The slow and steady approach to this does seem to be a bit safer, to be honest. Oh no, I don't want to get bombarded. That guy's got to go down. Doesn't seem to have noticed me though. So I'm going to hide behind this relatively healthy log. Down goes another blue guy, so that's hopefully some extra points for me at the end of this level. Have I taken all those guys out now? Yeah, it looks like it. Or at least taken them out in the sense that they are no longer in the battle rather than dead. Okay. So we've nearly reached the Confederate artillery, which is very nice. No more cannons for them. Yeah, the Confederacy only had 1 cannon foundry. in the entire country, or the entire alleged country. So again, it's no real wonder they lost the war. These bulletproof haystacks are very conveniently placed, I must say. I know it's realistic that guns of this period let out so much smoke that battlefields often became quite hard to see, but it's not actually helping my experience of the game very much, which I think is much more the important point. Okay, they seem to be running off, which makes taking the artillery position a lot easier. Seems slightly disrespectful to mount an artillery battery on a graveyard, but, you know, this was not a pleasant war, I suppose. Maybe if I flank around the side, I can get over there without getting shot. I could use their artillery, I suppose. Not sure whether it turns that far, but yeah, that guy goes down. That guy gets bayoneted in the face, and we have done it. Okay, so on to the next objective. Not getting shot by these fleeing guys. If I remember correctly, we're about to have an oh no, there's so many blue guys and I can't kill them. I have to just wound them, and I don't have any Pokeballs left. Why did I use them up in that earlier battle? Oh dear. I think I might be running into the unfortunate implication that the blue guys cannot all be saved. I'll do as best as I can. So one death later, we've duly cleared out that field to the right and have to now sneak around and avoid getting shot by the guys in the other field. I might take up a position over here on the flank so that I can take them out without having to worry about who's coming around the side. Not quite sure what the... so I think the objective here is just to shoot all the Confederates. Now, these guys... Yeah, those very poorly animated Union soldiers seem to be running in and to assist me, so I might just hide behind them for a bit. Dodge a bit side to side so I don't get shot in the face. Maybe if I can get inside the church, I can get some kind of covered position to... Oh, what's this? Hello. Is that a repeater? I think it is. That's very, very useful. Ah, I've got a save point, apparently. Oi. Yeah, you stop that. Okay, where's Dexter? Is he in here?
You made it. Good job.
We've taken the church, but the rebels won't let us off that easy. There's a counterattack coming.
I talked with Welsh and could have grabbed him, but he's got orders that must get to General French. If those orders don't get through, well, who knows what could happen. We'll get him after he makes his delivery.
Ah, more excuse plot. Still 120 rounds of super shotgun, so I'm not about to complain. They've got to defend the church from attack. This will be very easy. At least this map does list individual enemies on it, which makes taking them out quite easy. Even if they only have about 5 haircuts between them. This is not going well as a defense, frankly. They seem to be right on our doorstep. Literally. Still, the shotgun is the great leveler. As in all the best shooters. And some of the mediocre ones like this. You might want to think about that again. This shotgun would like to make its thoughts on slavery known in an open and pleasant debate. Okay, another attack on this side. Fine. I think we just got 2 in one shot there. That was very good. I think I just shot a rock because it was grey and I thought it was a Confederate uniform. I suppose that's the point of the camouflage. Because if you want to keep gathering in easily shotgunnable clusters like that, that would be ideal. Ammunition getting slightly concerningly low, but so is supply of Confederate soldiers, so it seems to be going as planned so far. Oh, I just heard the mission successful noise, so I think we might have got through this. Brilliant. 60 rounds left. And I assume it's not going to be as easy as securing our exit now, because that was a very short level otherwise, but we'll find out. Oh, no, no. We are just coming straight back. Okay, that was very short, but I'm not about to complain.
You gentlemen are not exactly building a great track record. You realize that Dr. Cole is still missing, possibly hurt or imprisoned, and the only clues we can pursue are Welsh and Petrovich? I've given you the ability to match forces with those interlopers. I can't believe that a 300-year-old war is giving you trouble. The future of Chronotech depends on finding Dr. Cole. Please, let's make some progress.
So, with another couple of upgrade points. I'm not sure... we've got all the 2 upgrade points for the rifle, so I might just quickly upgrade the sidearms. I think clip size would be useful there, because they are our main lifeline when we're fighting, having to use the musket. I think we're getting towards the end of the game now, actually, so I'm going to head back to the First World War and do one more level in this episode.
But I've identified German support positions directly in his path that'll be very hazardous to his health. If we clear out the Germans, Petrovich and his men will be able to make it through, and we can locate them in the morning. Now, I know it sounds like we're changing history here, but these Germans will be wiped out by a Russian counteroffensive later in the day. We're just doing it a little early. Our simulation models indicate no long-term effects, so we're good to go. All right, let's harness up and hit the ground. Well, shit. We can travel through time, but we still can't get the weather forecast right. All right, kid. The rain means I can't laze my targets, so you're up to bat. Infiltrate each of the German sites and plant locator beacons on key points. Once you do that, you'll have a few seconds to clear the area before all hell rains down on you. Remember, these camps are going to reinforce one another, so try to do things quietly.
Okay, so we've got the munitions depot, we've got the garrison, and we've got the artillery barracks. We've got the artillery camp. So, I assume this is about as this is about as open world as we've got so far. We actually have multiple targets, and we have to try and sneak past people. Won't work, of course. So I'm just gonna shoot them, but take one out with the Pokeballs, and his buddy can be taken out with the machine gun. We've got the machine gun and the super shotgun, which is very nice. So. We have to mark the targets at the munitions depot. There's a machine gun there, which I would rather not have to engage with, frankly. So, grenade that one. Oh, nice throw. Okay, so, and get immediately shot and die. The Pokeballs aren't getting him. Hey, there you go. Come on. Right, finally. They're not very well programmed, to be honest. Need to find an opening in the wire. I think there's some around the side, but if I can avoid the machine gun nest, that would be best. Just going to quickly heal up and do a quick reload. And once the blood's fallen off my face, we can make our advance. Pokeball the guys on the machine guns if I can from this range. Looks like this might be a good approach. So I can jump over there and hide behind here. Ah, they've got some captured British tanks that haven't been invented yet. Perfect. No, I'm here. Oh, I have to literally mark it by hand using a countdown timer. I bet if I get shot, this resets, doesn't it? I haven't managed to yet, so that's something. Uh-oh. What am I getting shot by? Ah, you. There we go. Target number 2 gets marked. And let's have a quick squiz at the map. And yeah, we've got to head over to the other side of the camp and mark that one as well. So I think these shouldn't be too difficult to get done if I can take out these machine guns. Yeah, those guys who are blue, as long as you don't shoot them several times, they seem to not immediately die. So you can just sort of squeeze off a quick burst at them and hope that does the job without needing to... What are you doing? Oh, I accidentally hit that guy, so that's one less upgrade point for me. Still, the upgrade points don't seem particularly useful, if I'm honest. I don't think there's anything... Ooh, old-timey radio. Apparently no old-timey radio programs on there. At least they bothered to record the sound effect for it. Target number 3 gets marked if I don't get shot while I'm doing it. Uh-oh. Gotta get out of here. Oh no. Bad time cops. Surprisingly easy to kill, though. Plus, they might give me ammunition for... Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh, okay. I get like a little time bubble if that happens. I see. Ooh, fun future weapons. I'm going to swap one of these out, see what happens. Okay, it's like a future sniper rifle. Lovely. With a nice fast reload. Plus I can get out of there before the munitions go off. Okay, so that's done. Let's head over to the radio tower garrison and do that as our second objective. Okay, I'm getting artilleried. That's not ideal. Should have possibly taken out the artillery base first, but what can I do? Oh, we've got another blue guy up there. The presence of these guys makes combat very awkward because you have to try not to kill them. But I think we've done that relatively successfully. He's wounded, but not dead. Also, frankly, how are they spotting this artillery? How do they know where I am? There's none of them around. Whatever. I guess that's an invisible wall, so... Can I swim across this? Do I have to... One guy down. Apparently I can't swim, so I've just got to... Oh, yeah, I see where the artillery's coming from now. That's going to be a perpetual problem if I can't... Right. This gun is very helpful because it's... very accurate at long range, which is something I haven't been able to get hold of so far. Unfortunately, I'm kind of running out of ammunition for it. So I might have to go over to one of the period weapons soon. The kind of problem with the future weapons is that once you get them, if you can keep hold of the ammunition for them, there's no real reason to use any of the period weapons anymore. Fun as they are as a nice concept. Guys, you're shelling your own base. Need to remember, I don't need to actually kill all these guys. I just need to not... get these targets marked and not get killed in the process. Target 1 is down. Pokeball on you quickly. Second target over here. If I can clear these guys out without getting in too much of a firefight, I might be able to get that done relatively quickly, especially if I crouch. Come on, come on, come on. Target 2 marked, and that's a save point as well, so I can just Pokeball these guys quickly and head over to the third one. They're struggling to get back into my hand, but they will be deployed effectively soon. Right, I mean, he's clearly been hit by the Pokeball, but I can't get it around to snap on him and take him into the time capsule yet. There we go. Let's get number 3 marked. We haven't managed to get drawn into a massive firefight this time, which is positive. This radio array is, again, extremely old-timey. It's got wooden cartwheels on it. Okay, so that's done. So now all that remains is the artillery encampment and these guys. You're going in PC box 1 with my level 10 Butterfree. Fortunately, that allows me to dodge out of the way a little bit. I imagine I'm not going to get across this blasted wasteland without opposition. An artillery encampment which appears to only have 1 artillery cannon is not particularly effective battery, to be honest. But, ooh, that was close. Do you think this is what many battles in the First World War were like? Playing chicken with the shells. I reckon if I can get below that cliff face, they probably can't hit me. And I see an orange glow up there, which I think might be Petrovich. Or I may just be mistaken. Uh-oh, grenade. Oh, was that meant to be a minefield? Did I just miss an entire gameplay thing? I see. Well, if the Germans can weaponize these floating trees, we might be in trouble. Can I Skyrim my way up this cliff? Yes, I can. Unfortunately, I can't see any of the people that are now shooting at me. Pokeball, go! Right, so that's 1 battery down. To be honest, it might not be that useful to kill the to destroy the battery with artillery if I can kill all the crew, because then the Russians could capture the guns and use them against the Germans, as does actually happen in war. Target 1 marked. Seem to have rescued a large amount of the blue guys this time. I'm hoping that gives me some kind of good reward in terms of stat upgrades, because I only managed to get 2 points last time, which is a bit measly. But last mission was quite quick, so that might be why. Would an artillery battery at this point have actually had its rifles on it? Because they weren't expecting to be fighting on the front line. They would have been several miles back. I suppose if they were overrun, they might fear that they'd be shot at. But I would have thought they maybe would have just had a couple of sentries with small arms. So with target 3 marked, looks like we've done what we need to and jumped off a cliff, which has miraculously not killed me. Still, let's get out of firing range and avoid what appears to be mines. Oh, and in they come. And down goes the artillery barrage. So, back to the middle of the map to meet up with Dexter. In other first-person shooters, would not assume it would be that easy, but this is a game that does not pace its peaks and troughs very well, so I imagine we will just go and meet him and immediately teleport out of the arena. A small group of enemies up here who I might have to take out, but got the feature weapons still, so... Oh, and they're both blues, so can Pokeball 1, leg shot for the other, kill the third. Lovely. Sorry you weren't the Pokeball guy. Right, so here's Dexter and our time buddies. Uh-oh.
I don't know how you know my name, but I'm telling you one last time. Get the fuck out of here or I'll blow us all to hell.
He's bluffing. We all know how disruptive that'd be. Especially you. You're the one so hell-bent on preserving things.
Wanna bet, you piece of shit?
Alright.
You can really tell which characters they hired professional voice actors for this game. I could have just shot them. They are actually quite easy to kill, Dexter.
Don't worry about
I was
this.
doing my mission, dickhead.
Ran away from a smoke grenade. Maybe those drama classes back in my salad days are paying off, huh? Nothing like a good bluff, I'll tell you. Well, I think we bought ourselves an opening with our work tonight, so...
Yeah, he's just rotating.
Lab, huh?
Yeah. Portal me, Amadeus.
I can't say that I'm thrilled with your performance up to this point. No Welsh, no Petrovich, and, most importantly, no Father of Time. Chronotech cannot continue without his leadership, you understand? The missing Welsh and Petrovich are the only clues we have to follow, so I suggest we do so. There is a time stream anomaly alert that requires my attention.
Only 1 upgrade point? That's bloody cheap, mother. Well, anyway, after a significant amount of progress through the game, I think we are closing in on the final stages of Darkest of Days, so I think there's probably only 1 episode left in this. This has been a longer than expected episode, but I think it's done a reasonable amount of good work, so thank you for joining me. Check out some of the other series on the channel if you like. If you could back me on Patreon, the link is in the description. That would be really helpful and help me keep this show on the road. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time.